Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of NR2003, 2006, NR2003 season. This is our regular season finale from Daytona today, but we're going to get a quick refresher on the chase for the Cup standings. 6 drivers locked in. Carl Edwards all but locked in the 7th spot, but we are mainly focusing on Jeff Burton, Dale Jr., Jeff Gordon above the cut line. Burton only 18 to the good, Jr. 12 points above the cut line. Gordon 6 points above Denny Hamlin for the final spot in the chase. Casey Kane out by 40. Scott Riggs and Matt Kenseth needing miracles in 13th and 14th out by 51 and 64 respectively. So here we are at the Daytona International Speedway for the Pepsi 400 here in 2006. Tony Stewart and Kurt Busch leads the green flag, and we are underway here in the world center of racing here at Daytona. Who will find their way into the chase for the Cup and keep their championship hopes alive? We're going to find out as here on lap 1. It is Tony Stewart to the inside of Kurt Busch, driving his way up into the race lead. The push from Kurt's younger brother of Kyle Busch, of course, who made the championship for a season ago in that magical run, his rookie campaign. But Tony Stewart, of course, really good at being at the front here at Daytona, leading a lot of laps, but has not pulled off that elusive Daytona win yet. So we'll see if Tony Stewart can finally get over the hump here today. See Jimmy Johnson, Carl Edwards at the very back of the field. Known guys for hanging back of staying on trouble. Denny Hamlin, Jeff Gordon, Jeff Burton, Matt Kenseth trying to find their way to the front of the field. All the guys that need points, they are finding their way to the front. Kyle Busch, though, leads the opening lap of racing with a big push from Jamie McMurray in that number 26 Crown Royal Ford for Roush Racing. Now he finds his way to the inside of Kyle Busch. He's got help from Casey Mears behind him, of course, and McMurray's former ride, that number 42 for Chip Ganassi. So now McMurray will drive his way into the race lead for the first time tonight here at Daytona on lap number 3. Mears and Busch behind him with the 8 of Dale Jr. finding his way behind us a little bit crazy. 38, David Gillen down low in the 31, and Jeff Burton spinning into the outside wall. There goes the 31 of Jeff Burton, and major chase implications in this crash. As Burton gets clipped by Elliott Sadler, they get together. Burton gets spun up hard into the outside wall. Big hit, and all of a sudden, Jeff Burton's hopes of making the chase have gone down significantly, as now he will be on the back foot. Carl Edwards also involved in this incident. So now Burton will be in big trouble. You see here, just gets squeezed there by the 19 of Sadler, just running out of room. They come together and crash, and that changes everything here at Daytona. Completely shakes up the way this race was going. Now Jeff Burton will actually DNF and will be out of this race at Daytona, and we'll have to hope and pray that Denny Hamlin, who is obviously the first guy below the cut line on points, does not outpoint him by 24 points. That is the magic number, 24 points between Denny Hamlin and Jeff Burton. So Hamlin needs to beat Jeff Burton by a lot of positions here. So now we're back underway on lap 10. Dale Earnhardt Jr., the Pad Piper here at Daytona, taking the lead on the restart from Casey Mears. You see out of the race, Burton, Quaffle, Jeff Green, Boris Said, and Joe Nemechek. Jeff Burton will finish in 40th. So Denny Hamlin just needs to finish inside the top 15, and he will be in the chase for the Cup. Or if he gets stage points here in stage 1 and stage 2, that will make it a lot easier for him to beat Jeff Burton. But now here comes the 17 of Matt Kenseth to the inside of Earnhardt Jr. for the lead here on lap number 12. Now making our way to lap 13. Kenseth, of course, he so far has one part of what he needs to happen, with Jeff Burton crashing out of this race and earning 1 total point. He still needs guys like Denny Hamlin and Jeff Gordon to crash out, as well as Casey Kane and Scott Riggs to have an issue, and then he needs to basically sweep the stage and win the race. So he does need an absolute miracle here. So now we're 3 wide for the lead. David Gillen, Denny Hamlin, and here comes Junior once again to the inside. He's going to find his way back to the front once again. How about that 11 car? The rookie Denny Hamlin in a great spot now to make the chase his rookie season here. He's got the 2 wins. Now he's well above Jeff Burton where he's running right now. As long as he stays out of trouble, he should be fine and will be able to continue his contention for the championships. They barely avoid the slow, damaged lap car of Carl Edwards, who's just making laps right now to make sure he locks himself in that 7th spot for the chase, which he will. He's already locked in, so he will be perfectly fine. Carl Edwards nothing to worry about, but Dale Jr. dominating early here in Daytona, trying to get the season sweep at the World Center of Racing, and Jimmy Johnson has blown an engine. Your points leader goes up in smoke. 18 laps in here at Daytona. We're going to throw the caution, but Jimmie Johnson just blew his engine. He already had the regular season championship clinched, so this is, you know, a mulligan race he can afford here where it doesn't really mean anything to him. But an engine goes on the 48 of Jimmie Johnson, not the way he wanted to end his fantastic regular season. And caution will be out with Tony Stewart leading Kyle Petty. Now a little bit later it is Petty, Marlin battling for the lead. Here comes the 5 of Kyle Busch. Rowdy to the inside, trying to find his way to the lead. He's got a big shove here from the 38 of David Gillen. We're stacking up all over the place in the middle of the racetrack. 4 wide. We got cars below the double yellow line. Gilliland and Dave Blaney. Remember, you can't make a pass below the double yellow line. That is illegal. And what is David Gilliland doing? He's swerving all over the place, all over the grass. He somehow manages to avoid completely spinning out and crashing and keeps his car in the apron and avoids taking anyone down with him. It's a very impressive drive there from him, but it's Kyle Busch now taking the lead here in Daytona. There goes Sterling Marlin. The 14 sent spinning by Kurt Busch, and a big crash behind us with Brian Vickers and Casey Mears. So Boyer Clipsdale Jr. completely stacks up the inside lane, spins Vickers hard into the outside wall for Casey Mears on 2 wheels. Comes back down on all fours. Both cars destroyed. And of course the 14 of Sterling Marlin was right up against the wall and just got squeezed by Kurt Busch and sent spinning all the way down to the inside of the racetrack, but he keeps it going in the grass and avoids hitting the wall, so good job there by Marlin. Now we're going to be back underway on lap 28. This will be a 21 to go in stage 1. It is Dave Blaney and Kyle Busch leading us to the green flag. Of course, Jimmie Johnson with the engine failure out in 37th, and Dale Jarrett and Jamie McMurray had too much damage to continue. They will be out of this race in 35th and 36th place respectively. So now it is Kyle Busch continuing to have a very strong performance here at Daytona, leading this race now with a nice shove from the veteran, the Mark Martin, behind the wheel of number 6, who of course has already locked himself into the chase once again here in his final season with Roush Racing. We'll see what transpires next season as he transitions to part-time competition behind the wheel of the number 01 machine for Ginn Racing. But right now, Mark Martin trying to end his tenure with Roush on a high note as he goes underneath Kyle Busch in the 5 for the lead. Here comes Mark Martin on lap 29. The Roush driver takes the lead, but now don't count out Denny Hamlin, who is inside. Here comes the rookie in the number 11, having a phenomenal night tonight, which is exactly what he needs to advance himself into his first career chase for the Cup here. Postseason appearance for Denny Hamlin as he gets a big shove here from Kevin Harvick, of course, already a multi-time winner this season. Second in the points. Harvick's been doing a phenomenal job. Continues to do so here, shoving Denny Hamlin to the front of the pack here at Daytona. Hamlin now starting to impress on these super speedway style racetracks here. Got Jeff Gordon lurking at the back of this group. The guy Hamlin was fighting in for points, but now with Jeff Burton out, they can both get in here. So Hamlin was leading, but now the 20 of Tony Stewart takes the lead from Mark Martin here on lap 39. So now Stewart finds his way to the front in the 20, of course. Has had a great year, 2 wins, locked himself in the chase. But now Mark Martin able to get back underneath Tony Stewart on lap 41, and Mark Martin back in the race lead here as now we have just 8 to go in stage 1. Kenseth in the wall here on lap 42, 3 and 4. Big damage, really going to slow him down here. Now behind him is trouble spinning. There goes around, goes David Stremme and Kevin Harvick spinning in front of the pack. Luckily avoid collecting more cars, and a crash coming out of turn 4 will set up a late race restart here at the end of stage 1. Harvick and David Stremme go for a spin. Minor damage to Kevin Harvick. Now Stremme here trying to get back going in the right direction. We got a bunch of cars coming at him, and Sterling Marlin spins Michael Waltrip up the track, and they collect the 10 of Scott Riggs. And that will be how the season and the hopes to win a championship end for Scott Riggs, as he will wreck out in that accident. Carl Edwards officially retired his car in 34th place. He did exactly what he needed to do. So Edwards has locked in that 7th spot in the chase. The other 3 still up for grabs. And of course, Scott Riggs will DNF in 33rd, and he will be eliminated from chase contention, knocking us now down to just 13 cars who still have a shot as we work our way through this race. And then the 55 of Michael Waltrip will crash out in 32nd place as well. But right now, all the bubble drivers who need points, Matt Kenseth, Jeff Gordon, Denny Hamlin, they are nowhere to be seen in this top 10. They are not at the front. The only one here is Dale Earnhardt Jr., who is shoving the 12 of Ryan Newman to the race lead here. Here comes your defending series champion, who's going to miss the chase and will not go back-to-back. But Ryan Newman takes the race lead here at Daytona with help from Dale Earnhardt Jr. But now the 8 of Dale Earnhardt Jr., the man, your Daytona 500 champion this year, to the outside of Ryan Newman. Got some help from Dave Blaney and Tony Raines. And what a run on the outside lane. Here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. I don't know what it is with that car. Just something about Dale and Daytona is right. And here he goes on the outside lane. Makes a pass for the lead with less cars. What a move. And Dale Jr. wins stage 1 in Daytona. Tony Raines, Dave Blaney, David Gilliland, Ryan Newman in the top 5, followed by Mark Martin, Kevin Harvick, J.J. Yaley, Kyle Busch, and Kyle Petty. Jr. picks up his 3rd stage win of the season, and because he did not get any stage points, Matt Kenseth in the 17 has officially been eliminated from contending for this championship. Now we are down to just 2 guys below the cut line who can find their way in, Denny Hamlin and Casey Kane. But now here comes the Busch brothers to the inside of Tony Raines and David Gilliland for the lead here on lap 62, and it is the eldest brother of Kurt Busch who is now your new leader here at Daytona. Now he's stuck behind Greg Biffle a few laps later in lap traffic as the 20 of Tony Stewart and his Home Depot Chevrolet for Joe Gibbs Racing charges his way to the race lead thanks to the stack-up caused by Greg Biffle and Casey Mears, who are both well off the pace and of course have both already been eliminated from contending for the chase for the Cup after last week at Michigan. Denny Hamlin, for some reason, decides to put himself in the wall behind Greg Biffle. Very questionable decision there. Big stack up. Biffle almost wrecks J.J. Yaley coming down to pit road. What is he doing? Meanwhile, Stewart leading the way. Now the 6 of Mark Martin finds his way back into the race lead here at Daytona. On lap number 67, Roush continuing to have a strong day with Mark Martin and Matt Kenseth. And now Kurt Busch has found his way back to the race lead, going by his brother Kyle here on lap 76. And now the Busch brothers once again in control here at Daytona. Kurt leading as he has been over Kyle for most of this day here in Daytona. Now Mark Martin has cycled his way back to the lead here on lap 97. We have about 6 to go on the stage, and now these guys negotiate the slow lap car Sterling Marlin. While that is happening, here comes the 2 of Kurt Busch to the inside of Mark Martin for the lead. Kurt Busch coming to the last lap of stage 2 has just taken the lead away from Mark Martin, who looked like he was on cruise control to win this stage. Not anymore. Kurt Busch to the point here in Daytona, last lap of stage 2, and Kurt Busch comes through to win stage 2 in Daytona, followed by David Gilliland, Mark Martin, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Tony Raines, J.J. Yaley, Clint Boyer, Reed Sorensen, Mike Wallace, and Casey Kane earns the final stage point. So Kurt Busch gets his 5th stage win of the season. 3 of those times he has won a stage, he has gone on to win the race. So this could be time number 4, as now Dale Jr., who has officially clinched his spot in the chase for the Cup with the amount of stage points he has earned today. So he'll take position number 8, and that just leaves 4 drivers fighting for 2 spots. Jeff Burton, Jeff Gordon, Casey Kane, and Denny Hamlin. 2 will be in, 2 will be out. But Junior is in to the chase here. 04 champion will have a shot to get his 2nd career championship. And now with just 35 to go, Junior comes in for his scheduled green flag pit stop from the lead, handing it over to J.J. Yaley. The rookie in the number 18 having a strong run tonight. Now he will come in here with 30 to go. And then Yaley won the pit cycle, came out in the lead, but then a debris caution was called by the tower. And now we get back underway here with just 24 laps to go in Daytona. Matt Kenseth, although he cannot make the chase, still wants to end his regular season on a high note, winning here at Daytona. He will take the lead from J.J. Yaley, and the 5 of Kyle Busch not far behind him, as well as the 8 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. there in 3rd. So now here comes Kyle Busch to take the lead from Matt Kenseth, just 23 to go. And Rowdy has found his way to the race lead thanks to a big push from Dale Earnhardt Jr. trying to go for the Daytona sweep here in 2006. Has had an amazing car all night long, still in contention for the win. But now here comes Denny Hamlin with now just 17 laps to go, finding his way to the inside of Rowdy Kyle Busch to take the race lead here with help from his teammate of Tony Stewart. Of course, the JGR Alliance working together here today at Daytona. Now coming to just 16 laps to go, Stewart going to work with Hamlin here, try to shove his teammate to the lead and into the chase for the Cup to have 2 representatives for Joe Gibbs Racing. Remember, Hamlin still needs to finish in the top 15 because he didn't earn any stage points to beat Jeff Burton, or else Jeff Burton will be one of the luckiest men in the Cup Series and find his way into the chase, and Denny Hamlin will be out if he doesn't get the finish he's looking for. Now just 10 laps to go, and Denny Hamlin gets stacked up behind Kasey Kahne's lap car teammate of Elliott Sadler, right when Kahne is going for the lead. How convenient. So here comes Mark Martin, the race lead. They're 4 wide behind them. Into the wall goes Kasey Kahne and Denny Hamlin. Huge chase implications. Junior's wreck. Tony Stewart. Kyle Busch collected. And the big one strikes one last time here at Daytona with 10 laps to go. And just dashed the hopes of Kasey Kahne and Denny Hamlin. Unbelievable. Hamlin, about 15 seconds ago, was leading this race and almost guaranteed to make the chase, and just like that, he is out. He is out of this race, out of the chase. His season is over, as is Kasey Kahne, who had to win this race. They are both out. Kyle Busch gets taken out. So does Dale Jr. See, here's the Dodge on board with Kasey Kahne. Just a 4-wide squeeze in turn 3, not going to work. And a just unbelievable turn of events here as Denny Hamlin's FedEx onboard camera shows us how he gets cleaned out. And he would have been fine if Kyle Busch hadn't just slammed into him right there. And that's how his season ends. Denny Hamlin will finish in 28th place, and therefore has officially been eliminated from the chase contention. And the rookie will come oh so close, just about 10 points away from getting in. Kasey Kahne will finish in 20. Actually, Kasey Kahne's still in this race, so technically it's not over, but he just doesn't seem to have the speed. But now we're back underway. 5 to go in Daytona. We still have to crown a winner here. And it's Mark Martin battling Reed Sorensen for the lead, with David Gilliland and Kurt Busch right there behind him. Don't count out Kyle Petty or Matt Kenseth still in the fray here late in this race, but I mean, that was just a wild turn of events there. Heartbreak for Denny Hamlin. He had done everything he needed to do in the final stage. Was in such a good spot to make it, and then just maybe a little bit of controversy there with the Evernham teammates working together of Elliott Sadler. Kasey Kahne ends up taking him and Kahne both out and ending their chances of making the chase, which locks in Jeff Gordon and Jeff Burton to the final 2 spots. Now here we are, 4 to go, and here comes the 38 of David Gilliland to the lead with a shove from Kyle Petty. How about that 38 car? David Gilliland only making, I believe, like his 4th or 5th start this season, and is now leading on the white flag at Daytona. Final lap in the regular season, but here comes the blue deuce of Kurt Busch to the inside of David Gilliland, having a phenomenal run, trying to get his first career win, but Kurt Busch trying to steal it from him on the inside. This would be win number 4 of the 06 campaign for Kurt Busch. He has been unbelievable since joining Roger Penske this season, and here he is once again as he's now clear over Elliott Sadler, and he is driving away to tie Jimmy Johnson for most wins this season. David Gilliland going to be oh so close to that first career win, just couldn't make the right move on the final lap, and out of turn 4 to the tri-oval for the final time here at Daytona. Kurt Busch is going to steal another one. Kurt Busch wins at Daytona. What a regular season. David Gilliland, Dave Blaney, Matt Kenseth, and Reed Sorensen the top 5, followed by Mark Martin, Clint Boyer, Kyle Petty, Kevin Harvick, and Tony Raines the top 10. So Kurt Busch wins the 2006 Pepsi 400, leading 30 of 160 laps. This is his 9th career win, tying him for 50th on the all-time wins list. And he now has 4 wins this season, tied for the most of all drivers with your regular season champion, Jimmy Johnson. There are the final results left side of your screen. See where all the bubble drivers of Earnhardt, Hamlin, and Jeff Burton ended up finishing. Same with Jeff Gordon. In a few short moments, we'll see the final regular season chase standings grid. Here's the final chase grid at the end of the regular season. Carl Edwards comfortably makes it in by 53 after his strong performance. Dale Jr. makes it in by 30 points. Jeff Gordon gets in by 17 points, and Jeff Burton, thanks to the wreck out by Denny Hamlin, is going to survive and advance by just 10 points. And those 10 points are going to haunt Denny Hamlin for the rest of this season of how close he was to having a shot to win a championship in his rookie year. Kasey Kahne was able to knock the deficit down to 31, but it just wasn't going to be enough unless he won the race. Matt Kenseth needed a miracle, and it didn't happen. So he is not going to get in. And same thing for Scott Riggs. With him crashing out, there was no way he was going to make it. So we have our 10-man chase set going to the Southern 500. Jimmie Johnson, the regular season champion, enters as the #1 seed with a 20-point gap over the Busch brothers, who are second and third. He will be in a great spot to get his first ever Nextel Cup Series championship. Then Harvick and Tony Stewart run out the top 5 on the grid. Then you really start to get a ways out. Dale Jr. and Jeff Gordon out by 41 in 6th and 7th. Edwards, Jeff Burton, Mark Martin between 42 and 46 out in 8th, 9th, and 10th on the chase grid. So we have a 10-race chase, no eliminations. Whoever has the most points at the end of it will be your champion. Jimmie Johnson starts off as the 1 seed, Southern 500, next episode. So as always, when we conclude these episodes, I'm going to give a special shout out to my channel members. Thank you very much to Brendan Breen and Jeremy Isley for your support. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Helps me and the channel continue to grow and produce some awesome content. Now on the road to 2,000 subscribers. So those of you that are watching this video or are not subscribed, please do subscribe. It's completely free. It only takes a couple of seconds, and I would really, really appreciate it. If you want to become a paid channel member and support the channel that way, link for that is down in the description down below. And until next episode for the chase opener at Darlington, I hope you all have a good one.